Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's fantastic.
Thank you.
What were your first thoughts when you sat down and watched the completed version?
I hope the audience is having as much fun as I'm having. That was my first thoughts. Because I watched it with just me and my editor. Now, my first thoughts when I watched it with a test audience, I turned to my editor and I said, did I make a comedy? And I didn't know it. Because they were laughing and having so much fun. You know, I didn't see it anymore because, you know, when you first hear a joke, you laugh. You hear a joke 4 or 5 times, you don't laugh as much.
Well, what I felt was when I sat there is how quickly you take all 7 guys to your hearts, you know.
Yeah.
Each of them a tortured soul in their own way, and they're all on their own journeys, and then collectively they get together and discover the fact that, you know, deep down there's that little golden nugget of a hero in them, you know, that gives them a raison d'etre, if you like.
That's right.
So it's all embracing in that sense. When the lads first hit the ground running, did that chemistry come naturally? Because casting that is quite a leap of faith. When you know, it's one thing having a leading lady and a leading man rubbing along together, but when you've got 7 blokes, was that an easy task?
No. It was challenging, but they're all so different and they're all so professional that it makes everything work out. And you know, Denzel's the leader, #1 on the call sheet. Chris Pratt's the leader, fantastic, funny guy, very humble, he has no ego. Vincent D'Onofrio, Ethan Hawke, you know, everybody falls into their role. And it all happens during the fitting. Because it's the first time you're seeing them, they're seeing each other in outfits. Yeah. And they're walking out with the guns and hats and stuff, checking each other out, you know. Is his cooler than mine? You know, you start to see that.
was it sort of surge of testosterone coming from all 7 sides,
you know,
right?
you can kind of feel it, you know, everybody's kind of check. Then one guy starts spinning his gun over here, and then Chris will look at Manuel. He starts spinning his gun, and Manuel starts spinning it twice, you know. So all those stuff. And then Denzel will say something to kind of get them all in line. He'll crack a joke or something and relax the room, you know. Yeah. But it took that sort of thing to happen. And then it took Vincent to start making fun of Chris, and Chris loved it. And once they started laughing and everybody put their feet up, and then it was like I saw the Wild Bunch in a weird way. It was like the Magnificent Seven mixed in with the Wild Bunch. Yeah. Because then they just started getting ruckus and loud, and, you know, feet on the thing, and cigars start coming out, and I was like,
do you think that's an interesting point, actually, that the swagger naturally came because, you know, blokes these days do tend to feel emasculated by the world, you know, they've got to be a metrosexual, you know, but really do just want to go out there and, you know, gunsling, swagger, drink, bite the ends off cigars, you know. Do you think that's something that we all have inside us, that's been buried deep?
Yeah, absolutely. What's the line? In every man there's a beast that lies beneath? Yeah. That's what happened. You just see these guys that we met in the room in casting. They were gentlemen, nice guys. And then in dress rehearsal, after a while, they started walking with those boots. Yeah. And, you know, because they had the boots. The boots is the first thing you get, so you can get them broken in. And then they get the pants on. And then all of a sudden, strap on that gun.
And that's it. That's the look.
And then the hat.
I went to a dude ranch in Texas this
year,
yeah? And I just said to the lads next door, actually, that I look like Doris Day compared to most of the guys on the ranch. That swagger doesn't come naturally when you're walking in those boots, right?
No,
You've got to break those boys in.
You got to break those boys in.
With Denzel, obviously, it's not your first rodeo, every pun intended. You know, you've been in each other's orbit for quite some time and very successfully as well. What do you think it is about him as a performer that's unique, if you like, that perhaps sets him apart from...
Denzel's an actor first. No matter what, he's an actor first. A movie star doesn't even exist in his head. He's just an actor's actor, and he actually loves doing that. And I see it when I'm directing him. His love for acting and actors and just filmmaking in general. It's something really powerful in that, because that means he gives it everything. He literally gives it I've seen days where Denzel would do this, like an athlete, and, you know, and I would catch it from a corner of my eye, and I was just like, he just gives everything. But when he's done, he's done. He goes and he goes off, and you know. But when he's that character for those months, and he gives you everything, and he's focused.
Chisholm is an astonishing character, actually. I mean, no wonder he leapt at that. You know, and I love the fact that you left it very sort of ambiguous. You know, when he first strides into town, was it the fact he's black, or was it the fact, you know, that there's a stranger in the saloon?
Yeah, and the way he carries his gun. Because gunslingers carry their gun, the way they ride their horse are different. Gunslingers have their hand in a certain place. When they ride their horses, you know, the horse reins just hang, and they keep their hand in a certain place. People who didn't know that will clock that. He's a gunslinger, because he's right there, he can get it. You know, they have their hand a certain way. They use one hand on the rein. Some people you see, they're riding their horses, they're kind of like, you could tell they're farmers. These are things I learned with our experts with us, is you could tell by the way the man rides his horse, or how he holds his gun, if he's dangerous or not, if he knows what he's doing or not. So that's the challenge. And the fun was, let's get all that right, but then let's see what the audience thinks. Because he's black or because he's a gunslinger? And that's fun. That's when it becomes interesting for me, because people go into the movie theaters and it's a shared experience, and they start to paint it. They start adding things that may not even be in the movie, but in their mind it's there.
Well, there's something for everyone, isn't it? I mean, for me, it was the fact that it's such a melting pot of races, nationalities, creeds, or whatever, which is something that, you know, the uninitiated wouldn't necessarily think of as the Wild West per se, that we think about as, which is more of a cliche, really, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the relationship with Billy Rocks and Goodnight, it's like, you're not quite sure about that. What is that? What is that relationship? But we don't say anything. We don't say anything. But it's all there for you to interpret however you want.
It's all there as well in the form of Emma, of course, played by the fantastic Haley, but packing a punch. I mean, she can hold her own with the best of them, right?
She's special, man.
Isn't she, though?
Special, that woman. So, I think she reminds me of Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah, she has this sweetness about her, but she's tough.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to cross her.
No, you wouldn't want to cross
No.
her. She's tough. Well, she's from Ohio. She
Well,
grew up on a
mess.
farm.
Yeah.
She knew how to shoot. So I was like, okay, yeah, let me give you a rifle, put you up there, you do something. She was around all these guys. Those are her guys. That's how I said, you wouldn't got them, go deal with them. So any days where it was like, she come to me, I said, they're your guys. Go talk to your guys.
The other big star of the movie is the town itself, of course. That's an enormous challenge. You built that whole thing.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, we expanded the lake. We built that. There was nothing there when we came there. And you know, and it got washed away a couple times because of those storms down there. Yeah. And that was tough. But yeah, Derek Hill, man, production designer, amazing job, man.
Amazing job as well. And I was saying to the lads next door as well that it's a very romantic notion, isn't it? 7 men riding in to save the day. And I put it to them that I think it resonates with us today because so many of us across the world, in whatever walk of life, feel really disenchanted and disenfranchised. Would you agree? Is that how you think it would be, or strike a chord with the audience today?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. That's part of the issue. You know, we're not embracing each other the way we should, I think. And I think that sometimes we all are feeling like outsiders in a weird way. White people feel like outsiders. You know, it's like the world's more diverse, so what does that mean for you? Does that mean when the world's more diverse, you're in a minority now? So does that mean that now we got another issue? Because we're not dealing with each other just as human beings. We keep dealing with each other based on color or nationality.
So do you think collectively then we're all feeling quite overwhelmed by the changes that are sweeping through? I mean, we had Brexit. You've obviously got the race for the White House at the moment happening in the States. Yeah. Everybody feels completely unsettled. I mean, I got that when I was going through Texas this summer.
Yeah.
And that's, I think,
blaming one another. Everyone's blaming another. But the point of the movie is that we all got to come together, everybody, to stop tyranny, to stop the problem, whatever the problem is. It could be a simple problem as, financial issues. But it's not going to be one race or one country who's going to fix it. It's got to be all of us.
We need a magnificent 7 on the world stage. Well, I'm not blaming you for the problems, but I'm certainly laying the success of this film at your door. Thank you so much, young man.
Good to see you.
It was terrific.
I've got wonderful women in my life, from my wife, mother of my son, to, my mom, to my manager. My life is run by really powerful and wonderful women.